Hey folks, welcome to Mountainside. Well, it's a gorgeous February day, February 25th. Um, we did not do the ram harvest on Saturday. We had other concerning matters that we had to take care of, um, and we had nobody sign up to come over Saturday, so we were able to push it. So we decided to start it today. So Amy's working on one right now, and as you can see, we're in a different spot. Usually we're kind of to the left of where I'm at. Um, and we usually string them up off our porch. But because our user over there is still, we had to make something different happen. So we have them kind of strung up right here to do to remove the hide and eviscerate. But I set it up yesterday, and I thought it was going to be fine. And I was just using this rope here to tie to my pulley system. But when we initially started pulling it up, got the ram just about off the ground, the rope snapped. So we had to improvise. Actually, not much of an improvisation. Yeah, improvisation, I think is the right word. So we used what was left of the rope hanging on there, um, and tied it to the side by side. And well, that was also not a great idea because now the side by side's stuck and I can't use it. But anyways, Amy's working on the ram, and I'm going to show you why we did not um, start this harvest process on Saturday like we wanted to. So let's go take a look. Okay, and here's the reason why. That's Layla right there. Um, she started acting like she might give birth, and that was Friday. So Saturday, we went ahead and redid the milking barn area so that if she did give birth, we'd have a spot to move her to. What we like to do is isolate the mom with the babies. That's the way we learned. So yeah, if it's a single lamb, you isolate the mom with it for 24 hours. If it's twins, it's 48 hours. Triplets, so on. Um, so it's 24 hours per baby. And the way she's walking, the way she's laying down, the way she's panting, the way her backside looks, um, yeah, she could go at any time, but I don't think it's going to be until March. So, but we also have Hella's looking pretty big. Glinda's a good size. Sunny's over there walking around, not really big, but she's showing good. And Lois and Jadis are down the hill a little bit. I mean, Lois is a big girl to begin with, and she's just looking much bigger. But that's why we didn't do the harvest on Saturday, and now we're in a position where we have that set for the ladies when they start birthing, um, and it's a gorgeous day anyways, so we could still harvest the rams. I'm going to show you what the holding area for the moms and the lambs looks like. So let's go take a look. So if you've been with us for any amount of time, this might look familiar to you. This is our milking barn, and this is where we bring the ewes into for lambing, for milking. They'll stay here well, they'll have a lot of fence space that they could roam through and graze while we hay. Um, but this is going to be their spot once they start lambing. We have an energizer here. Um, looks a little funny. We got it secondhand, kind of rebuilt it with the parts from Premier One, plus another battery. So it does solar charge the battery and lights up the fence. Now let's take a look at the inside. So this gate here works really nice because the ewes do get a little bit aggressive, not mean, but wanting to be in. And then, if you've seen in the past, we have this little slider here, for when we're milking, because the slider we found helps control traffic a little bit better. So the lambs and the ewes will actually come inside. Bear with me. They'll come into here. Now in here we had storage, we had feed that we had a bunch of other things, but so this is actually two spots that we have. We do have a heat lamp here. We'll bring another one in if needed, but we have hay set up for the moms, and we could bring water in here without a problem, whatever they need. So a spot here, a spot here. Again, 24 hours per baby. Doesn't seem like a lot of time, but if you got 5 or 6 ewes giving birth within 24 to 48 hours of each other, it's a lot of juggling. So even the spot that you're in may turn into a spot or two, and that's all to be determined based on how they give birth. So I'm going to walk around the farm some more and work on some things while Amy's taking care of that ram harvest. Ah, you're a good boy. Now, something we always try to keep in mind, I know, when we're doing harvesting, especially with the bigger animals, is one animal by itself is not a good thing, you know. So right now, Fezzik's all confused, maybe a little scared, but he's a really good boy. So when we did the cull, we took Vicini out of the fence and just got him about 10 feet outside the fence to do the cull. And of course, Fezzik was right here the entire time. But I've washed my hands since we did that, so there should be no real smell of anything. But our plan is to also harvest him today, but we got to see what happens, because that's going to take. She's doing good. She's already got the hide off just about, so it'll take maybe another hour or so before we could get to him. We're hoping for about 4.5 hours for the entire process for 2 of them, but we're going to keep on moving forward. Let's go take a look at the pigs. Well, now we're down by the pigs. This is a spot on our property where we don't use for a lot. We actually parked a camper here for a while. Great little setup for a camper. Had a camper, had a fire pit. It was really nice. I parked my dump truck back here for a while, had some storage back here. But it really is, a nice cleared out area. Nothing's really growing in it except for some of these little trees. And our location, if you just bear with me, that's the knoll right there. So, and right there is Fezzik. So we're right there, relatively close, but we took the long way to come here. And so that means our house is just over the tree line there. Nice and close. What we want to do in this spot is use these guys, use the 4 little pigs, which is going to turn into 3 little pigs, because we want to smoke one of them. We want to use these guys to come through here, root it up, soften it up, and maybe plant some grass seed or see what they kick up, and actually kind of extend our pasture into this area, because our main animal here is our sheep. And they are milk, they are wool, they are meat, they are a regenerative animal that we have here on the farm, and they are our main focus. So everything we do is to benefit our sheep, and the pigs are going to be used as tools to come through, root all this up, so we could get more seed, so we could get more pasture growing, and this will add another 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 spots that we can move sheep through. So we continue to work this spot up here, clearing out these trees, and then we stop them down here. That's a whole nother acre or so that we're just going to add by utilizing animals to clear space. Well, animals and myself. because animals aren't going to cut the trees down and burn them. But, we've already got some great work going on. The pigs are, tilling up great. They are rooting, they are digging, they are fertilizing, you name it. These guys are doing a great job. So they're only in their second spot. We moved them yesterday, but we're going to continue to move them through and see what we get out of it. So this spot actually connects to where I just was down by the pigs, and it wraps around up to where, Jerk was, where Jonesy was, where that spot is. So I'm also going to take some of these little pines out of here so that when we can move the pigs up through here, we're adding more space. But I want to get this done before the pigs come up, because this is going to be, another 4 or 5 spots that we could put sheep. Right now where you're at is an intersection of our pathways. Just make a sharp right. We're right behind the chicken coop. Make a sharp left, and we could head down by the cabins. But all this space really isn't being utilized. So why not turn it into pasture? And why not use animals to do that? And you may ask yourself, well, Ken, how do you know the animals could do the job? I'll show you. Because, well, others have done it. It's not my idea to do this. It's been being done this way for I don't know how many years. But using animals to come through the woods and clear this out. So this is going to get cleared out also, just like up here. Oops. So this is where Jonesy was. This is where Jerk was. We had pigs here. We've had turkeys here. We've had ducks here. If we, as the stewards, do a better job with the animal maintenance and moving them around, we will continue to grow grass. We have to get all these sticks out of here, all these limbs out of here, move the animals how they're supposed to be moved. Then we get more grass. So if we get more grass in through here, more grass down by where Fezzik is, you can actually see him from right here. We continue to add pasture because we know the number of animals we're running is a little too heavy for the amount of pasture we have. Really, you're talking about, 1,000 pounds for every 3 acres. And, if you go, just say you say 200 pounds per sheep, just a nice round number. That's 5 head for 3 acres. We run 6 ewes plus 2 rams, so that's 8. So that's 1,600 pounds, if I did the math right. So I know we're heavy. That's why we're continuing to look to add more pasture, because we may thin the herd. We've talked about it. We actually started going down that path, but we ended up not doing that. But also, since it's a regenerative herd, we're going to continue to add. So if there's babies we want to keep, like we really wanted to keep Fezzik, but it's too soon to add another ram. But we're going to see what we get out of this year's lambing. We may keep a couple ewes out of this lambing along with the ram, just so it's their own little flock that we're going to keep. Whether we use them for milk or meat, maybe we just use them for meat and sales. Who knows? But the option's there as long as we have the pasture to feed them. But if you ever have any questions about, raising sheep, we've been doing it for a few years now. We raise an East Frisian Tunis mix. So they are wool sheep. They are not hair sheep. So they do require a little more maintenance because you have to have them sheared. But the person who comes out and does our shearing is fantastic. Doesn't charge a lot. I believe we have a place to sell our wool. Um, so it's all those little things that you could still add to your farm, with wool sheep. Uh, Plus, you could find uses to use the wool yourself. But I'm just kind of rambling on here, ain't I? So I got to get to work. Again, you have any questions, let us know. Email is going to be down below. If you want to come out here and see some baby lambs, email below. In the subject line, put lambing or baby lambs, something like that. That'll catch our attention. Or if you just want to come out for a visit, stay here on property. We still have cabins that we could rent short term. Um, Email is below, website's below. So let us know. Love to have you. But I don't know if we're going to do anything else on this video. And in case we don't, y'all take care now. So even with a few of the setbacks that we had, we are still like right on schedule of where we wanted to be. So first one, as you can see, is done. He's in the house, waiting to get, the next steps. So now that was Fezzik. Yes, you know, calling some animals is harder than others. Um, Vicini wasn't very emotional for me, but Fezzik is. So when Fezzik was a baby, when we were separating him from the mom for milking purposes, he was the biggest, so I would have to carry him, and I'd pick him up, and he was just a big old lunk. He'd lay his head on my shoulder, and I think even my Facebook picture is me and him. So I'm gonna have to change that after this. But like I said, this isn't easy. It should never be easy. If it gets easy, check yourself. But again, some are harder than others, and this one's a tough one. But you know how we joke in church about, Lord, make me fast and accurate?
Yeah.
This is always one of those times.
Yeah.
So I'll go over that side of the water trough.
Okay.
And try to go from there.
Okay.
You're a good boy, buddy. These pants may smell. May smell. Come on. Yep. Come on. You're a good boy. I think this is one of the reasons why we are so passionate about making sure we're doing everything we can to give them a great life. Yeah, they don't have the best shelter, but they really don't need it. I mean, this wool through this winter, I mean, it's hand deep. It's all my fingers deep. So knowing that he's got all that, we know he doesn't need the shelter, but making sure he has good food to eat and good water to drink and new paddocks.
Well, even if they have a choice of shelter
They
in
don't.
the storm, they just like, hey, I'm just gonna be out in it.
Mm-hmm.
This is fun. I got 3 inches of snow on my back.
And I like it, but I mean, we do the best we can for them, give everything we can to them, because in the end, they give everything for us.